Say into a little bit of an extreme where it seems like he has to push this narrative that everybody needs to get into a philosophically sophisticated argument where we throw syllogisms together and make sure that they're all valid. Well, yes and no, and I'm going to make this point as clear as and concise as I can. Atheism originally was about worship, about whether or not you worshipped a god or gods. That is what I use the word atheist for, and that's for my personal thing, because I don't really give a shit what people call me or whatever. They just know that I don't believe that a god exists, and if he did exist, he is not worth a frickin' second of my time. That's right. At least the one is defined so far. That is why also you must have your definitions of which god, because it really does matter how you define that god. I've seen people say frickin' their fingernails a god up to a frickin'... Yeah, you've been around long enough, you should know that. That was a little disappointing to me. Yeah, and by the way, that would validate atheism. And one other thing, when it comes down to the belief part of it, the only thing that anyone has ever presented is what they describe as thoughts. And they are thoughts that they are describing. Thoughts in their head. That is just it. That is it. That is all the further they go. There is nothing. It's feckless, it's vapid, it's just worthless. Garbage. And to even say agnostic at that point that's my thing. I think agnostic is irrational. And by the way, I bet you don't worship any god, because that would mean that you are a theist if you worship a god. If you were an atheist, you would not worship a god. Am I correct? That is why the word should go back to worship. Or without worship. That is what it really means, without worship. Yeah. If it really needs to be something, that's where it should be. Because that's the way I always understood it when I was growing up. I thought an atheist is someone that doesn't go to church and worship God. And that's the way it's always been. I don't know how it changed, but it did. That flu's fault. But you know what? Defending that position is even easier than defending a non-existent or existent God, because there's no frickin' proof of it. And one more thing, please, show me a definition of God that I can actually compile something together in my head and have a frickin' idea or some sort of a conceptualized thought of what he might be. There is none. Do you have one? I don't think so. Not one that you can go, oh yeah, that's it. See? There is a such thing as atheism, even with the believe thing. Because you can't believe that's something that they don't even describe what it is. It's like, oh, it's just thing in the universe. No. Just because you feel it. I've felt similar things that they've felt that is not God talking to you. It's not. And my passion is... Yeah. Sorry. You know what? I am passionate about it. And I will be. And I mean, I don't care what you call yourself. I really don't. Because I really don't care what people call me. I don't. It doesn't matter. But you know what? Let's put yourself in the context of going back in time to those places. Don't you think that way out of the ordinary would be frickin' being an atheist? Well, yeah. It was a pejorative word, my man. Really pejorative word. Even my great-grandma would call herself a freethinker because that word was so negatory. But you can sit there and yap all day long about whether or not God exists. The point is, he's got to come out and frickin' show himself, because this is a bunch of shit. Does he like people fighting? Well, there's another thing against him. He must like people fighting against each other, because it makes them believe, without seeing him, or whatever they call their evidence. Somehow it doesn't add up to what we call evidence, apparently, because you're still an agnostic. So, am I wrong? Am I wrong? Am I not justified to say that there is no God? That it is all a bunch of hyperbole that people come up with in their heads? No, I don't think I am not justified in saying that. And that's all I gotta say. Drivebye out. Hey, come here. That's the smallest freaking dog I've ever met.